You've lived in the UK for years. You know, you cannot go to a court in the UK here and tell the court I slapped her 2 times. You can't say that.
I will say that.
No, you won't say that in the UK. Yeah, you won't.
I will say that anywhere. Let me tell you.
In the UK.
Oh yes, let me tell you. I will slap if my wife does something.
Hey guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Please hit the right subscribe button to subscribe and also like this video. Share this video for it to go round. Regina Daniels and her husband's marriage saga has gotten so messy. It's getting messy every day. Ned Nwoko posted on his social media platform to expose Regina Daniels more, and Regina Daniels also did the same thing. So let's start from Ned Nwoko, what he posted. He posted a video of Regina Daniels' brother, Sammy, and he said, "These videos show Sammy, Regina Daniels' brother, repeatedly coming to my home and harassing my children and domestic staff, especially when I am not around."
I know that one. Oh boy, Etaka. I know that. Etaka, don't do what you want to do. Come up here.
Who is the person driving the car?
I see they explain, give the policeman, say no, she's not going anywhere. No, who is he?
I said that she's going. Like this.
You explain it to him. Who calls him?
You are trying, don't worry, sorry.
No, you are doing for your level. I know that's what you have to do for your level. Who calls him for she to explain where she want to go? For policeman.
You are good.
What to be that?
You are a very good boy. Don't worry.
Drive outside. You attempt that thing again, the display what I go display for you. And I go feel that.
His visits were often aggressive and disruptive. This is someone I sponsored through his last 2 years at the University of Ekpoma. I bought his musical instrument, rented and furnished a flat for him in Abuja, in addition to the house I bought for Regina in Asaba before our marriage, for the use of all of them. I also routinely provided allowances to all members of the family, including her mother, Rita Daniels. Indeed, in the last 2 years, I have a record of transferring 125 million naira to her alone. You guys, Ned Nwoko is trying to say that he has been sponsoring and spending money on Regina Daniels' family. He rented an apartment for Sammy, who he arrested, and also bought musical instruments for him because he's pursuing his career. Also spent money, according to him, he spent 125 million naira for just Regina Daniels' mom alone. Then he proceeded. He said when Regina Daniels started her rehabilitation, there was a clear instruction by the doctors to strictly restrict people, especially her enablers, from having access to her. The therapy was arranged after I noticed troubling changes in her behavior linked to her dependence on certain illegal substances, including going for 48 hours without sleeping and eating every 2 hours. I remember in one video, guys, let me put this out. Ned Nwoko was talking to Regina Daniels in front of her mom and other people, saying that she has not slept for days, that she hardly sleep, and he was counseling her. And Regina Daniels' mom asked Regina to go on her knees to apologize to her husband. According to what Ned was saying there, he was saying that anytime he tried to talk to Regina, Regina would be like, "Are you my father?" So I will try to put that video in between the clips I'm editing. Okay.
So the stress is not from this. The stress is from her not resting.
Okay.
Oh, she would not tell me, look, you are not my father. She would tell me, I swear to God. She said, you are not my father. I said, no, I'm your husband. Go to bed. Please, record us.
You are my everything.
Please, you have to be my house every day. So that she'll be doing this. Come on, she'll be doing this every day.
Oh, you don't do it. I agree.
I love that.
So he proceeded. Unfortunately, Sammy, Destiny, some of their assemblies, together with a few of her friends, notably Sonia, not Sonia Uche, you guys, is another Sonia, the one they call Sonita. I will look for her pictures. Sonia, Uche Montana, among others, constantly defied those instructions. They would come into the house uninvited, sometimes forcing their way in, and would bring her the same drugs she is being treated for. Instead of helping her recover, they encouraged her addiction and completely frustrated the efforts of the doctors and therapists working with her. So this particular revelation linked Uche Montana, the famous actress you all know. He proceeded, it is important to note that Lawrence, Sammy, his girlfriend NK, Destiny, Sonia, and others also took the same drugs as Regina. In fact, Lawrence and Sammy were the ones who first introduced and supplied these drugs to her. If you don't know who Lawrence is Regina Daniels' elder brother that lives in the UK right now doing his masters. We will come to that. So he proceeded and said, they were deeply involved in the habits themselves, and rather than helping her get better, they kept drawing her back into the same destructive lifestyle. I do not drink alcohol nor smoke. In fact, I am a vegetarian, so I found these characters and behaviors reprehensible and totally unacceptable. Just 4 weeks ago, I woke up around 5 a.m. and realized that Gina was in my room and on the phone. She was clearly high, and she knows that I do not want her in my room in that condition. I asked her to go to her room, and she told me that Sammy's girlfriend was in her room. I was alarmed and angry because that girl should never have been in my house, let alone around Regina, since she is one of her enablers who constantly bring her the substance which she is addicted to. I told Regina that the girl had to leave, and one of my drivers dropped her off. 30 minutes later, Sammy came to my house shouting and demanding that I come downstairs to face him. He said I had no right to ask his girlfriend to leave my house. He was ranting and threatening, waking up everyone, including the children. I eventually went downstairs and had to instruct the security to physically push him out of my compound. The level of audacity was shocking. Without the influence of drugs, could he have been so bold and disrespectful? He was asking. He continued, they did not stop there. On several occasions, they verbally assaulted and intimidated the police officer stationed at the house for security. The officers were simply following instructions to restrict access for the sake of Regina's recovery. But Sammy and his group would insult and threaten them. Whenever Regina wanted to go out and I was not around, she would become extremely hostile towards the police and domestic staff. She would shout, threaten, and use abusive words, insisting that she must leave the house no matter what. There were at least two serious incidents where she left home in the evening and did not return until the next day. The first incident, she returned in the morning around 9 a.m. When I asked her where she had been all night, she casually said she was at a nightclub. When I questioned why she would stay out all night, ignoring my calls and refusing to answer messages, her response was, you are not my father, So you don't ask me where I was. I found out that she was with Cassie, and Cassie was staying in Regina's house in Life Camp. Cassie is the chemist and supplier of the group. I had to go to Life Camp at 6 p.m. to ask her to leave with her around Regina. The therapy became a joke. On another occasion, on the kid's birthday to be precise, I returned home with the kids because Regina said she would stay with her Nollywood friends for dinner. She didn't return until 5 p.m. the next day. I took so much nonsense just for the sake of the kids. I also knew that drugs had a lot to do with it. As to her reason for continuing with drug, she will always say, just like her mother, that it is a celebrity lifestyle. They will always mention two well-known pop stars. Imagine the pain of a husband trying to help his wife recover only to have the process sabotaged by her siblings and friends, the very people who should have been supporting her healing. This pattern of behavior made it almost impossible for her to recover. Each time the progress was made, they would undo it by smuggling it in the same drugs. She was fighting to give up. The entire household lived in tension and fear because of their constant harassment, interference, and disregard for boundaries. It will be interesting to know her reasons for the violent behaviors in the house. The days that Sammy and her siblings came to attack my staff and security, taking Regina away after doing a video which they posted the next day. Why did they post that video? Why did they do that video? They simply planned and scripted it all in my absence. Regardless of the fact that my kids were there, they took away many things from my house, including one of my phones, money, and many other items. Everything that happened that day was in my house. In my absence, nobody was beaten, and nobody could have contemplated that. It is blatantly false to say that I sent thugs to beat Regina in another house. The video that went viral was filmed entirely in front of my house by Regina's sister and her friends. It was a pure Nollywood scenario in front of my property in my absence. Sammy should have a life of his own outside of Regina and focus on building his career independently. When his brother Lawrence went to London a couple of years ago to do his master's degree. I personally sponsored him with $75,000 for tuition and upkeep. I sent him abroad partly to help him escape the toxic environment of drug exposure and bad influence around them at the time. Out of fairness, I offered Sammy the same opportunity, but he declined, insisting he wanted to remain in Nigeria to pursue his music career. Unfortunately, he has since been arrested several times by both the police and the EFCC. His behavior has become increasingly violent and unstable. What he needs now is total rehabilitation and professional guidance. Otherwise, his aggression and self-destruction tendencies will only worsen. Hmm. You guys, it's a lot. This is just all the things that Ned Nwoko said. This is not what Regina said. I'm going to also read Regina's own. You guys, Regina Daniels needs our prayers. She's going through a lot, whether or not we sent her or not, but she needs our help because right now it's really getting more and more messy. And it's so sad that a young girl as Regina is going through all of this. Let me read to you guys what Regina wrote after her husband Ned Nwoko posted all of those evidence on social media. Regina wrote, Ned, how could you lie so openly and without even small remorse? You know my family has nothing to do with this. You have always tried to cut them off because of the bond we share. And now you are trying to make them look like a bad person for no reason. Fine, I did drugs. So what? Is that even the issue between us? The moment we had a fight, you rushed to the public shouting drugs, drugs, drugs because you knew it would make a perfect story for the media, somehow dramatic enough to distract everyone from the real issue. You want to find a reason to arrest everyone around me so that I will have no one left beside me. No friend, no support, no safe place to turn to. Then, when I am completely isolated and broken, I will be forced to come back to you because I will have nowhere else to go. She proceeded. That has always been your strategy. Break people down, make them weak and powerless, and then have your way with them. But guess what? It's not going to work this time. Not anymore. You say you want me to go for rehab, but you are the same Ned who always wanted me high because, in your words, I am sexier when I am high. You liked me that way because it made me wild and romantic, exactly how you wanted me to be. Why don't you also tell them how you forced your way on me whenever I say no? Why don't you tell them how you locked me up, seize my phones, and suddenly declare me mentally unstable? The moment I say I no longer want to be in this relationship, but once I change my mind just to get out of that locked room, suddenly I am fine again. I am no longer mentally unstable and apparently not in need of rehab anymore. She continued, why don't you also tell them that all your wives and ex-wives are on drugs? And can you be kind enough to explain to them why that is happening? Why don't you also tell them how you lock me up and doctors to inject me with drugs meant for people with bipolar disorder? Why don't you tell them how you take my phones for weeks just because you hate that I talk to my family a lot? You have never seen me act nonchalant, stumble, or lose control. So just stop. Every problem we have had started when I no longer wanted you, whether sober or even high. Stop using the word drugs narrative to create distraction. Tell people the truth. I understand, Sha. You are feeling rejected and hurt, and you are struggling to make peace with the fact that it's all over. She continued, let me make this very clear. No matter how much you think you have spent on me, it can never equal the value of the time I gave you, my prime years, my energy, and the career opportunities I sacrificed while being with you. And for the record, I would have filed a divorce long ago if there was ever a legal marriage between us. We were never married in any court of law, and no documents were signed. Leave me alone, Ned. Marriage is not by force. Love is not by force. Stop trying to control what no longer belongs to you. You guys, this is very, very strong allegation. So hopefully before Regina Daniels is spitting all of this thing online, she should have an evidence. And also, there are some certain things she don't even need to say here. If she sue him to court, she's going to present her evidence before the court. And she admitting that she take drugs. You guys, that part of it, I hope Ned Nwoko will not use it against her because he's definitely gathering evidence against her. Posting evidence against Regina simply means that he has been planning all of this all along. Hopefully, Regina have her own evidence as well because everything she has gone through, you guys, it's a lot. Imagine wasting her prime years with an old man. Ha, she sacrificed a lot, but then again, why did a 17 years old child pursued marriage for other things? It's really sad. Some people are saying it's juju that Ned Nwoko used juju for her, but me, I'm just speechless. Let me continue what Regina said. She wrote, I have a lot more to say, but let me just stop here for now. I can only thank God that I found strength in the same house you tried to destroy me. I just feel so ashamed that all this had to come out in the messiest way. She continued, yes, everyone. It is now in history that Regina Daniels did drugs because that was what her husband wanted. Believe it or not, dearest ex-husband, thank you for breaking the crown you put on my head. No one knew us like us, and I trusted you with all of me, even with my sex tape. Hey, Regina, don't go far. In this age and time, people still do this. Una see the record una body give man. The one wey una do for inside house not reach. You will now record and put in phones. I don't understand. Hopefully, he doesn't leak it because the media are so ready to feast on it. Let's hope he doesn't get to that extent. So she continued, which I pray never sees the light, but you have always been a step ahead negatively, foolish me. When I married you at 17, was I on drugs? I thank God for time. My name is ruined for now, but I will rewrite my story. The negative will be dead and gone. Now that I have let the one thing you have on me out, what else? It's time to fight with all of me in court. I am not backing down now, you narcissist, manipulative bastard. I am so pained. I am ruined. You all can laugh, but the laughter won't be for long as I serve my God. Oh my goodness. She said, Ned, God will actually punish you. May I not die and leave you in this world because now who die lose. She continued, life is actually funny. It's very funny. I am sad or heartbroken. I am now seated at the very chair I try to raise people up from. I hate sad people. I always believe it's better to die than to be sad, and death is not an option. But it's very easy, trust me. I am an advocate for happiness. I believe in finding happiness in the tiniest things, such as food, lots of laugh. Sadness is spiritually and physically draining. Life equals living, just live. Funny part, I am my biggest motivation. I cry, look myself in the mirror, and then wipe them. When I reason responsibilities and demons to defeat, I am not mad. So sit the F up. You guys, Regina Daniels really tried to imagine a 17 years old child getting married to a man almost at 70. That is why everybody is blaming the mom because in Nigeria, we don't support child marriage. A 17 years old getting married to such man in that age. You see why Nigerians are blaming Regina Daniels' mom? Because no matter what your child say, what does a 70 years child knows to say that mommy I want to marry and to crown it to an old man? If not for longer throat, why would Regina Daniels' mom approve such marriage, especially for a child that is underage? But what do I know? Anyways, Regina Daniels need our support, our voice, and all that because the intimidation from Ned Nwoko is a lot. And you guys, the battle ahead is bigger than what we can see right now because as I can see, Ned Nwoko is not backing down, and especially with the kids, is going to definitely use it against her. That is why I'm so mad at Regina Daniels for accepting publicly that she did drugs because that is another evidence against her in court to collect the children from her because definitely Nedwoko will file for custody of those children. And right now, Regina Daniel don't have access to her kids. It's so painful anyways. What's your thoughts about everything that is going on? Please, let's discuss in the comment section. We'll see you guys in the next one. More updates are coming. Bye.